to say I got the most feedback. It's from African people. I barely get any feedback from German native.
I mean, because,
I feel like I live in Germany. I make something in Germany. I do something fresh. I got nothing feedback from Germany.
Wow. Carrio, from a producer's perspective, what is with Afro music nowadays? Because honestly, you're realizing that is it a wave now that is hitting almost like all the parts of the world? Because if you scroll on TikTok, Instagram, you cannot scroll 2-3 videos without finding Afro music.
You're right.
What is with Afro music lately?
What I can say is I don't think there has ever been a time period that African or black music has never been popular. I don't think that time ever existed.
True.
Black music, black culture has always been super popular. Black people have always been the taste makers. What has always been my gripe with the label Afrobeats is that it's actually not Afrobeat.
Hey guys, thanks again. Welcome back to OnlyFacts Season 3. I'm excited to get back, to talking to you guys. As always, it's been a while that we haven't really get in touch or you haven't heard from me. So, but the most exciting thing for me this season is I'm going to introduce you to one of the most dynamic and inspirational person I know, that I've gotten to know for the past few weeks, who's joining me as my co-host. His name is Livingstone. Incredible name. I don't even want to go and get into that, to be honest. Yeah, so I hope he's going to bring that incredibility and energy to the podcast as well. And don't worry, Alison is still going to be here every now and then. But Livingstone is going to be like also joining me as well, or joining us to try to explore our topics and talk to our guests. But I'm going to let him take it from here and let him tell you about himself and what he's going to bring into the podcast.
Sure thing. Thanks for that wonderful introduction. Like I was saying behind the scenes, I always don't know how to introduce myself, but I'll keep it very interesting as I can. My name is Livingstone. Like, of course, you've had such a beautiful name. I love my name as well. And I'm a student. I'm studying social work in Germany here. And I'm very, very lucky, and it's my greatest honor to join the OnlyFacts Podcast, to join the family, the community. I've felt so welcome the past weeks that I've had interactions with my co-host here. I've had with Chris as well. So that's been very, very, very mesmerizing, and I'm very, very touched. And I feel like I cannot wait to share with you different stories about me, my background, and so on. But yeah, for the purpose of time, I cannot tell you a lot. Maybe I'll do an exclusive, basically, about me and what kind of foods that I like. And yeah, but with that, I can't wait to venture into different topics with you and you to get to know me better and better. And with every other day, I think we shall build a stronger relationship with everyone watching that. So feel free. I'm your new host now. I'm your new co-host, and I'll be riding along the OnlyFacts podcast. So you'll be seeing my face a lot.
Chill, it's not OnlyFans. Oh my god! No, I'm joking. I'm messing with you. Yeah. Okay. So guys, just so you guys don't get too enchanted by my co-host, I'll try to direct you guys to our lovely guest here today. Unfortunately, I wanted to get to know him a lot better. I wanted to let you guys get to know him a lot better as well. But fortunately and unfortunately, we have two amazing guests here that we also need to explore as well today. And to be honest, this is a very curious topic I'm going to explore with everyone. We're going to explore with everyone. So we have two amazing people here. So we have, so what's your name, please, brother?
The name is Carrio Sanders.
Yeah, and we have...
I'm Green Pepper.
I'm sorry?
Green Pepper.
Green pepper.
Green pepper?
Yes.
Yeah. Green pepper.
Wow. So again, maybe this is my ignorance. Is that your stage name or?
Yeah, my artist name.
Oh, your artist
you can
name.
also call me Zen.
Zen, okay. So guys, just in case, I know you're as confused as I was initially, right? So Green Pepper is actually the Afrobeat musician, and Karim is the producer.
It's not Karim, it's Carrio.
Oh, Carrio. Oh,
Carrior,
sorry.
Would anyone have imagined that?
I scratched that. Yeah, Carrio. It's Carrio.
Yeah.
So again, I was just ignorant initially, and I thought Carrio was the Afrobeat musician, and Green Pepper was the producer. But but it's the other way around. So that's why it's a very interesting topic to talk about. So welcome guys. So if you can please give us a bit about yourself. So we'll start from you, Carrio.
Yeah, my name is Carrio. I'm a musician, music producer, but I'm also a writer and a poet.
Amazing.
I'm also an entrepreneur here in Germany. I run a media agency, an advertisement agency, and basically I'm here with my sidekick. And as a musician, I actually don't make Afrobeats, but as a producer, I do work with artists from different backgrounds, and he happens to be one of the people that I found to be very interesting, because the same way you guys are kind of surprised.
Yeah.
That's the same way I was surprised when he told me. And the circumstances that surround the way we met was just, it was just hilarious. Maybe we'll get into that later, but basically that's...
so please...
I'm Green Pepper. I'm a Chinese Afrobeat musician. Yeah, that's kind of hilarious. I'm also a hip hop dancer. I'm also a AI engineer. I'm a master student here. I just finished my study. I'm looking for a job. Yeah. if everyone has
shameless plug,
contact me.
Mango plug himself in it.
He's putting himself
okay,
out
forget
there.
about that. Yeah, that's me.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, honestly, so I have a lot of questions. But
I know.
I'll let Livingston go.
Thank you. There is something burning me. Why Green Pepper?
Why Green Pepper?
Exactly.
Do I look like a green pepper?
You do.
Honestly, you do actually. I would believe that, but I just know no parent, no traditional Asian parents or Nigerian parents would name their kid Green Pepper. I just so that was why, boy, you look like a green pepper.
I want to know where the roots of these, like, how do you come to the name? Like, was it a thought that you were like, okay, I think it's a good name, or does it have some hidden background or some hidden things about it?
Didn't consider too deeply. I just name something I like. Name something just everyone will not refuse, right?
It is irresistible.
Yeah.
It is really irresistible.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And easy to catch. Like, green pepper, green pepper.
You're not telling them the part, because he told me that, because maybe you don't remember you told me this, but he said Nigerians love spice. Spicy food.
Yeah,
you remember you told me that, and he
that.
thought that that's one thing the Nigerians and Chinese share in common, and that's where really the pepper comes from. And he thought it just makes sense.
It does make sense.
It does make sense, absolutely.
I'm not Nigerian, but it does make sense. It does make sense.
Yeah.
But how do you? How long have you been doing this now in your entire career?
I mean, I make music also for few years, but I doing Afrobeats not that long, like a beginner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Then I have to say how we met.
Because
It was going to be my next question, but please take us through it. I would love.
No, so just because before you tell us how you guys met, can you tell us how you came about loving Afrobeat and then wanting to sing Afrobeat as well?
So why Afrobeats, right?
Yes. So why Afrobeat, and how you got to discover and fell in love and started singing Afrobeat? Okay, then I
first, before musician, I'm a dancer. Of course, now I'm also a dancer. I also took some competition or battles in Berlin also. Yeah, and Afrobeat, I mean, I just say all. It's danceable. Or
Sure.
Afrobeat is danceable. You
Sure.
just play something. I can
yeah.
easy. Yeah, that's also one of the very important problem. And then I make music before, mostly trap, hip hop, and then Afrobeats. I feel it. I feel the vibe. And the topic, the theme, the things. It's more like I can vibrate with this. At the beginning, I heard Afrobeats. It's so different from the most music I heard before, but at the same time, it's very familiar in some parts. I feel very super interesting feeling, and then I get more deeper and deeper and deeper, and then I just want to do it. I just want to do it.
There's
That's
always
my
a
stuff.
rhythm. There's always a rhythm that goes after, but that just moves your body basically
move
into
your
it. Yeah,
body.
exactly. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah. So tell us how did you how did you guys discover each other? How did you get to meet each other? So I'd like to know from your perspective, and then we can get to Carrio's perspective afterwards.
Yeah, do you want to take it first? I think you should.
take a first.
I like that. We used to do that in school.
All right.
No, you do.
All right.
You go.
Okay. All right.
What
So
happened
Carrio,
was
tell us.
I was out in the streets someday. I was filming a piece of content for myself, and I saw somebody that sort of was video bombing me. Like I just noticed from the camera that somebody was like dancing behind me in the video, and I looked back and it was him.
Doing these things.
So I wanted to stop the recording, but I thought, nah, let me just leave it running. So I was like, bro, alles klar? Is everything okay?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I'm just chilling, I'm just having fun and whatnot. And he was asking me, yeah, what are you doing? And like, yeah, I'm just recording a piece of content. And okay, yeah, I was talking about dreams. In that content, like,
amazing.
So I asked him, "What are your dreams?" And he said, "Yeah, to make it like Burna Boy." I'm like, "What do you know about Burna Boy?" And mom was like, "Yeah, I want to be like a huge Afrobeat superstar, like Burna Boy." I'm like, "Okay, he knows Burna Boy. Do you make Afrobeat yourself?" And he said, "Yeah, that he does, but he was also a dancer. Clearly, he was dancing in the video."
Yeah.
And yeah, so he told me that he started dancing to Afrobeat, and because he also made music at that time, he thought, yeah, it only makes sense if I'm a dancer and I love to dance. It only makes sense to make music that I can dance to. Because when I first met him, he made this sort of trap music, just depressing type music. Like, but you're not like that.
It wasn't good. Not that it wasn't good.
Not that it wasn't good.
He couldn't dance to it
But
like he wanted to dance.
You're listening to Juice WRLD, but he's not that guy actually.
Yeah.
He's more of the like to move his body. He can't sit still for 2 minutes.
For 2 minutes,
So he thought, yeah, it made sense that he makes music that he can dance to, and that's how the whole thing came about. So we exchanged contact. It's all on camera. Like I still have the video recording of this.
Wow.
And
That's a memory.
Is it posted?
yeah, it's some. Although the posted is like it was really. What's super interesting is there was also a Romanian woman who joined us later, but she wasn't captured on camera. But yeah, she was also there. It was just.
Now I think our audience might want to go watch, some of those videos if you have them anywhere.
Yeah, it was just crazy, unexpected, and we exchanged contact. And I told him, yeah, well, I'm a producer. Maybe we can work together, and and that's how the whole thing just took off from there.
You were intrigued right away when you saw him.
Yeah, I was, and for the fact that he name dropped some Afrobeat musicians that I personally don't even listen much to, and you mentioned Wizkid. Who else did you mention? I know Burna Boy was the name. He said he wanted to be big like that.
Boy.
Wow.
Fireboy.
Oh,
I love Fireboy. Yeah.
Nice one.
Star. And I love them. And Ashake.
Yeah.
Authentic.
Wow.
Ashake.
You have really fascinating knowledge about Afrobeats more than me as well. Like singing guys are like, I know that person. I've had a
So I mean, you've mentioned a couple of artists, right? So can you tell me, which of those, or which of them, or which of those motivated you to go into Afrobeat specifically?
A specific one. I don't know which one. I cannot mention, but. Definitely Burna Boy and Fireboy. This with fire. This burning fire. Yeah. These two, I think they give me more impact and affect me more. Yeah. I like their confidence, their emotional storytelling. Instead of before, I also heard a lot of trap, like some gangster life, street life, and some power wealth, but. and so at some point I feel that's not my life. That's not my truth. That's not my real feeling.
I feel you.
Yeah, although it's very cool, very dope. Sometimes I also imagine I'm one of them. Like okay, I have a struggle life. It's a violent situation. But I'm cool. But at some point I feel like I'm not one of them. So I cannot really resonate with them. I cannot really. But Afrobeats, tell us about love. I know it, and about personal growth. I know it, and about dreams. That I can really resonate with. I can really vibrate with.
That is very important.
And also dance.
But Carrio, from a producer's perspective, what is with Afro music nowadays? Because honestly, you're realizing that is it a wave now that is hitting almost like all the parts of the world? Because if you scroll on TikTok, Instagram, you cannot scroll 2-3 videos without finding Afro music.
You're right. What
is with Afro music lately?
I honestly can't tell you, but what I can say is I don't think there has ever been a time period that African or black music has never been popular. I don't think that time ever existed.
Sure.
Black music, black culture has always been super popular. Black people have always been the tastemakers when it comes to the cool factor. So whether we want to talk about the African American experience, you're talking about hip hop, R&B. It's always been popular in Germany. R&B, soul, jazz music, African American gospel, or you want to take it to the Caribbean. There's never a time reggae music was never popular. Ska, rocksteady. You go to Trinidad, it's like soca, salsa. And then when you go back to the continent, like the African continent, and I think what has always been my gripe with the label Afrobeats is that it's actually not Afrobeat. So there has been two distinct labels, the Afrobeats and the Afrobeat. And we've gotten to a point where it seems like African music has sort of been lumped up into one label, and that's really not true. Because when you go to Ghana, they have highlife. You go to Nigeria, they have Fuji, Juju, they have... you go to Zimbabwe, they have Chimurenga. You go to South Africa, there is Kwaito, there is gospel, there is...
Interesting.
There's also a surgence of
Amapiano. No, I'll let you finish, but I wanted to structure this in a way, right? So please structure that in a way, because that's very, very insightful. So I want people to understand that. Structure that in a way and give us, basically for you, the evolution of Afrobeat, of African music. Okay. Because I think you have a very wide array of perspective that I have that a lot of people don't, because like you just mentioned, people categorize them into one.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. So please give us the evolution and how, and the grace and how it all transpired.
I mean, there is a sequence to it, and I cannot categorically tell you the sequence to it because I'm also
as much as you know, as much as you know. As much as you know, as much as I know.
I can say that the basis for most of the thing that we call Afrobeats today, I'm sorry to say, but it's really Ghanaian high life. Like that is really the base for most of the things that we call Afrobeats today, and which is interesting because my dad used to be he was a veteran broadcaster in Nigeria. Like he was one of the people that was called to come serve Nigeria back in the days, and he worked at the national radio. And I eventually worked at the national television too in Nigeria. And I remember I was doing some research into the origin of, I don't remember exactly what it is, but I went to my dad and he gave me like old records of Fela Kuti. The person that we credit to be the pioneer of Afrobeat. Fela Kuti was actually making high life at the very beginning, like the oldest records. And it's amazing because when you go to these establishments, they have like bare catalog, like old catalogs that you would never know exist. And Fela used to make high life.
But honestly, for me, it made iLife his entire music career, though. People just translate it to Afrobeat, but for me, it
nobody transitioned. He went to the Americas, he joined the civil rights movement, and he met some people, and he learned a lot about the African American struggle. And he came back to Nigeria, and he didn't want to continue to do the usual. Because high life music is like palm wine music, it's like groove, it's vibes. It's got this arpeggiated pianos and guitar rhythms and whatnot.
Vibe.
And so he took jazz music. And high life, and it sort of combined that to form. That's why some jazz music sound like Afrobeat, some Afrobeat sound like jazz, and that's really what we now call Afrobeat. But when you strip down the layers, I think it started from Ghana.
Wow.
Like from Ghanaian high life. At least I would say.
That is interesting. I never.
I would disagree on that respectfully, though.
No, feel free. I'm not here like you, bro. There are no sentiments here.
I would disagree on that. Sorry, it's been a very interesting conversation so far. So I would want to ask, to be honest, so for you as a producer and for you as a musician, Green Pepper, so can you guys tell us, in Germany so far, what has been your experience? What has been the evolution of Afrobeat in Germany as a whole for both of you? So I'll let you continue. I'll let you start, Carrior, and then we'll move on to Green Pepper.
Okay, yeah. The first time I came to Germany was in 2014. And I'm not even sure the label Afrobeat was a thing as at that time yet. Maybe in the UK, and they called it UK Afrobeat because it was slightly different from the music that was coming from the continent itself. Mm-hmm. And I could remember listening to 2014, 2015 was like the trap EDM boom in Europe, and like everybody was making EDM remixes, and there were all of these DJs from France, from Germany who were making like collaborations, and sometimes they did collaborate with Caribbean artist and an African artist. Mm-hmm. And I remember telling one of my friends then, who's also a DJ, because we're in a band. He was the DJ, I was the rapper. Yeah. And I told him, dude, do you not think this sounds like Wandeko? Like you could just imagine putting Wandeko on an EDM song, like an electronic song. That was what it sounded like. And I told him, this is sounding too close to African music, but they called it house music. They called it electronic music. Mm-hmm. And it was not very accepted then, which is not a long time ago. It was just 2014. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because I also went to study sound engineering. That's why I came to Germany in the first place. And I could remember me just making references to some African songs and some African musicians, and it wasn't actually that respected. So I'm surprised. Now I came back, and you man are in the clubs dancing to the same music that you told me. Like that's crazy.
It sound crazy.
So you need somebody, you need a machine to tell you what to like and what to listen to and what to dance to before you can dance to it. And when I see like the acceptance, especially from the younger generation, of course they probably don't like. I think they are more culturally aware than my generation, the older generation. So I don't think they care much about where a particular genre of music is coming from. I think they just. But with that, if you put that aside, like I said, African music, black music has always been popular. Hip hop was always super popular in Germany. I don't know if you know Mode 9. The Nigerian rapper from the UK.
I know Mode 9.
Mode 9. I knew he always came to Germany, and I could never understand. Like, why is he always going to Germany? When I came to Germany, I understood.
I had no idea Mode 9 was in Germany.
He was here recently. I shot videos for him in Germany, like 3 videos already.
Crazy.
He comes on tour in Germany a lot. Like, he works with producers over here. Yeah. So when I came here, I realized, okay, it makes sense. This is why this man always comes to Germany. Like, the hip hop community in Germany is.
It's kind of amazing because I wouldn't have expected that from Germany actually.
But the hip hop community, especially the underground, the boom bap, the old school. Oh yeah, they're crazy about it. They're crazy about
amazing.
it. So I'd like to hear from you, Green Pepper, as well. So what's your evolution of Afrobeat music in Germany as well over time?
From my perspective, basically from dancing community. At the beginning, when take part, I've been here a few years, like 6 years. Every year I take part in HHI, like hip hop dancing, like something competition. And then there's a hip hop, of course, and like funky style or freestyle or like this. And then suddenly in hip hop category, they put a lot of Afrobeats in it. For real, I swear. And then like 3 years ago, I was like maybe the top 8 battle in top. I was what? Am I in a club or something? And there's a gang and it's just standing in front of me. Yeah. I was so confused, and then I don't know. I should get in a battle mode or in a just club mode. I just confused. Of course, I lost. And then more and more Afrobeats, and more some music between Afrobeat and hip hop. Of course, the DJ just make it. Yeah. And then then maybe some people think it's a little bit unfair because the DJ prefer they just like to play Afrobeat. Maybe they like it. Maybe the trend is coming, and they're a little bit unfair for the others dancer. They always like you always win. You always win because you grow up with this thing. You always win, and then they make a new category. It's Afro dance.
Afro dance.
Now there's new in hip hop competition battle. There's a new dancing category outside.
Something
So I think, wow, this is not a little thing now. This thing, it's not just a little.
It's not just a little bleep.
Yeah, maybe sometimes in freestyle. Maybe I just like 10 times, maybe I will come with 1 time, but now it's different now. Yeah. Everyone knows Afrobeats, everyone listens Afrobeats, dance with Afrobeats, and now I also can enjoy Afrobeats. Then that kind of beginning.
So just because he asked before he asks his question, please, you're gonna give us some freestyle at some point. But let him ask his question. I just wanted to mention that so we don't forget.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But Green Pepper, as an upcoming artist in Germany, in Afro music and so on, can you paint me a picture of the challenges you are facing right now, or the optimistic? But I also want to go to the optimistic part. But before, because you're in the Afro part that is kind of delicate, like he said, mentioned as well. I wouldn't have thought that you would even do the Afro thing, and so how is it for you in Berlin as an aspiring Afro artist
in Germany?
In Germany.
Yeah,
in Germany.
I
have to say, I got the most feedback. It's from African people. I barely get any feedback from German native.
I mean, because
I feel like I live in Germany. I make something in Germany. I do something fresh. I got nothing feedback from Germany.
Wow.
Yeah, even I got a lot of feedback, no matter good or bad or positive, negative, from all over the world, from the African people. Maybe some of them they encourage me. Some of them you just no. Yeah, but I can totally understand because I also, like you said, I do the challenge. I do what my passion is. That's also it already worth it. No matter what, it's already worth it. I'm doing something my passion. Yeah, but in here, I think the most challenging thing is I cannot get feedback from the native people.
That's something crucial, actually. But Carrior, to come to you as a producer, how is marketing Afro music in Germany? How are you finding it? Because I would have imagined then, and most of the African countries, it would have been easier. I mean, it's the kind of music that people listen to. But in Germany, I would have imagined they also have a different type of music they listen to. And how is it for you as a producer into pushing this music through Germany so that it reaches also that person deep down the village? How is it?
That's a loaded question. I think the music industry as a whole needs to be turned over and thrown out the window, and we need to build something else from scratch. So music generally, I think the music industry is done. Something new needs to be created.
The entire music industry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we just isolate Afrobeats, of course, it's going to be a little harder. And before this emergence of this African sound that's now like a global sensation now, I do think that Africans have always been doing phenomenal things. African musicians have always been great at what they did. Burna Boy was always great. Two-Face DBR was always great. Sauti Soul was always great. All of these people have always been doing their things on the continent. But I feel like there was a push from a machine that happened. And that is the reason Afrobeat is global today. And I don't think without that industry push, I don't think it would have been.
I mean, so I don't know about that. I don't know about the push, basically.
Trust me, there is a push.
I mean, for me, generally speaking, I just feel if you're out there for a long time, and if you're good, you're gonna get out there, right? But let's I'll forgo that thought, basically, right? So I just So what do you think the industry is doing really bad that can be changed? And two, where do you see the Afrobeat scene and music go in 5 or 10 years time? So that's like two.
Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. There was a time reggaeton was the thing. Like everybody was making reggaeton remixes. Everybody was jumping on it. All the Americans. Fat Joe suddenly realized that it was Puerto Rican. Suddenly realized it was Puerto Rican. They were rappers, but they jumped on that wave. If we're not careful, Afrobeat is going to become that wave too. And when the machine is done with it, they will move on to the next thing.
Okay.
Recently, I could only say that I think country music was looking like it could be that. Country music in the past 2-3 years became suddenly huge, like mainstream. Country music always existed.
2-3 years? I mean, sorry, I'll let you finish. So country music 2-3 years ago, you mean was, looked like it was.
Yeah, it became pop music.
Yeah, that was what
it became pop music. Yeah. And Beyonce made a country album. All of the rappers started dabbling into country elements in their music. Post Malone suddenly started making country music. It felt like Afrobeats was done, but I see that the Africans are also like reimagining themselves. Like,
so maybe is it a new thing that they added into it? Is it that with time it has evolved and there has been a new beat or a new template that has been added to it that has boosted the music industry as a whole, or is it just? Yeah, everything has its own time, and it's now a time wave for Afrobeats.
It might be a mix of both. I do think that the ability to evolve is very necessary, especially as an artist. I also think that people ought to experience something new. And also, it's easy for these big labels. There is barely an African musician now that's not signed to an international label. There is barely. They all signed to Empire Music, Universal, Sony. Like that's the way it is. And it's easier for the labels to deal with these Africans than with the African Americans. And I feel like that's why they are investing heavily into African music. So African Americans, if you talk to the label CEOs, they think they are entitled, they think they're lazy, like this typical stereotype that you hear. But with the Africans, I mean, you're already coming from an economically deprived society.
True.
So when they put $1 million US dollars on the table, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Like you get to talk to CEOs at Empire Music. It's a big deal for these Africans. But with the African Americans, it's slightly different. Their experience is different from us. It's just the same with the Germans here that are born, even though we are the same. Culturally, we have to admit that they are slightly different from us. Like culturally, you can't grow up in this society and expect people to think the same way Africans who were raised on the continent just think the same way. So I think with the music thing, I think people love to experience something new, something foreign. And if the evolution does not happen, then we'll become reggaeton, we'll become dancehall, we'll become trap EDM. Yeah,
honestly, I think you just went through a whole lot of things that I think I need to basically explore more and push forward, because that is absolutely brilliant. Because again, I love having conversations with people.
Yeah, it's necessary.
And then whenever I find something interesting and something they really, really versatile and conversate about that I do not know, I try to get to know more. Right. So again, unfortunately, we're making a podcast right now, so we have limited time, but at the same time I want to explore that as well. So for you, what do you think, as an African musician or as an Afrobeat musician, basically, what you need to do to not to be exploited by these labels you just mentioned, for example, or for you, I wouldn't say exploit in the sense of that way, but what do you do to make sure you get the maximum the maximum advantage that you can get from your music, from you as a person? Because again, you're managing Green Pepper.
I'm not managing him. We just make music together.
Oh, sorry. Okay, So you are
we work together.
Yeah. So you are producing his music, right? So, but at the same time, you're very conversant about the all Afrobeat music and it going globally as well.
Yeah.
So, what would be your recommendation or your personal opinion, or how you should go about avoiding, some of those nooks and crannies, and also making it being exposed organically without being pushed by whatever label that they are, and also at the same time being real to the Afrobeat scene as well?
The first thing I think is probably very important is the authenticity. Like the story has to be authentic. Originality has to be an element that needs to be put at the forefront of it. I think when people, for example, when we work together in the studio sometimes, and he's trying to like sing a particular sound that has maybe broken English or Yoruba, I could tell that his confidence he just wades into obscurity. Don't say it with your chest, man. Just say it.
Yeah.
People can hear it.
Yeah.
And when you don't say with that confidence, people can tell, oh, okay, he's just putting on a mask. It's just the front. Say it like you mean it. There is this guy from the UK. I mean, Afrobeats we don't have to talk about Afrobeats in the UK. He's a white guy from Manchester, and he makes Afrobeats music. He's the most phenomenal Afrobeats musician that's non-African that I've heard. Like, he spends hours trying to perfect how to say something in Yoruba.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, he spends hours, and his producer pushes him like crazy. Like, say this. Say this. I showed you the guy, right?
Yeah.
His name is Luca. You can check him out.
No. Honestly, I keep telling everyone, right? I keep telling everyone, right? You know, because people get this like misconception about Afrobeat and Africans. It's we're very welcoming.
Yeah.
Right? We just need to understand that you can fucking say it with your chest. Just say it with your chest.
do it.
Yeah. Because at the point where we feel, okay, this person is not so comfortable, they were like, okay, if you're not comfortable, then, just be in your lane.
Yeah, just step aside.
If you're just comfortable, just fucking do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, now you can see Carrio. I mean, not just from me. Now you can see Carrio as a producer of Afrobeat music is also, he's seeing that as well and giving from his own experience.
Yeah.
But
I told you.
Just to move an extra mile, because you earlier mentioned that you're doing a lot of things and as well Afro music. So is it you writing your own songs?
Yes.
You are writing your own songs.
I'm also a songwriter.
You're also a songwriter.
Yeah.
Wow. So how is it? This is because this is very interesting.
No.
Different people sing, but they cannot write their own songs.
I'm sorry I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm laughing. Because,
Go on.
No, I'm sorry I'm laughing because I'm trying to think of him writing in Pidgin English and Yoruba as well. So that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, that's why his confidence goes down when he gets
but it shouldn't. It shouldn't, because I see because this is the art of it. This is the thing about music. This is that tranquillious thing about music. This is that softest thing that we have. The only unique factor that we have about music. You don't necessarily have to be perfect,
pronounced, like
perfection. We don't need it. I mean, if you look at all the Afro musicians, it's not that they also sing perfectly and so on. But how is it for you to balance this? You're writing your own songs, you're singing, and who is managing you?
How do I
How do you manage everything? Like, how do you manage everything? Like, with
writing your own songs, singing them yourself, and at the same time managing yourself. I don't know. Are you managing yourself? Or?
And doing your marches, and also, doing your marches as well, and doing everything in between, and also like writing your songs and singing in between.
How are you making all the ends meet?
I don't think that's a separate stuff. I think that's just like you hear music, you dance. I don't think that can be separate. Like I just move this move and I hear music, don't start, and I separate to practice. I don't think that's separate. It's a flow. If you feel it, you feel it, and then maybe it sometimes go wrong. Then maybe you adjust a little bit, and try to feel it, and just go with the nature and just make it. Yeah. Of course, I'm not saying I'm very good or very excellent. I'm not, but I just go with that. Cannot be separated to do it.
Music is quite surprising, but I would like to know the reaction of people, for example, from your country. How do they react to music?
That's a good question. Yeah.
You mean
Chinese
people? You come from China?
People,
yes.
How do they react to that music?
That's a deep sigh.
First, I think most of them they don't think I will have a good result or have a good they don't think I can do it well or properly because I'm not African people and I'm doing this. How can I compete or how can I compare with the people who are African and will use their culture? If you train Kung Fu, how you expect to fight Wing Me? But actually, there's some African people did very good at Kung Fu. That's fact. Right?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would like to train some Kung Fu though. I would like to
He's
train
a
some
Kung Fu trainer too.
I'm also a Kung Fu trainer.
See?
I just take that for example.
Sign me to your class then. I always wanted to.
Need some self-defense. But
Sorry.
So mostly they think like that. Oh, you just an Asian Chinese.
Yeah.
How? Even your rhythm, your rap, you cannot compare with black people. Don't say Afrobeat. It's Afrobeat. It's not Chinese beat. So mostly they will think like that. But also, the example I just say now, also a lot of black people, they also train Kung Fu very, very good. Even better than some of Chinese Kung Fu trainer. So why not me?
Why not you?
Why not me? I can do that. Or
Exactly. I think we do not have to really limit music as a whole because music is also part of art. And I believe with art, there is no limitations.
Exactly.
There is no limitations because you find Leonardo da Vinci is loved is a world sweetheart, you know. You trace his origin is from it's somewhere else, and then he's loved in Africa, he's loved in China, he's loved in different. So this is the whole thing about music as well. So I see no problem with you singing Afro music or doing it because you definitely have proven that you have much more knowledge than I do, honestly. And that is the purest thing about art and the most,
about
like
passion.
I said, passion as well, and the confidence that someone puts in and so on. But coming back to you, how is it recording with Green Pepper? I want you to paint a picture of both of you in the studio right there. Be like, hey, this guy hits the microphone. I'm like, exactly, that's it. That's what we have to say.
It's a great visualize production. So please help you visualize.
Yeah, when we first met and he told me he made Afrobeats and we exchanged numbers. In my mind, I thought, nah, not another one. So I just asked him, can you send me something that you've done before? It was not Afrobeats.
It's not.
Yeah, it was more hip hop singing, whatever. Yeah. But I could tell that okay, he's not a fluff. He's not a fluff. So I listened to it. I thought, okay, yeah, let him. And I had a song that I wanted to put out at that time. It was a hip hop song, but it had like a Afrobeat crossover, whatever. And I had to remove one of my verses just so he can be on that song because I realized, okay. So that was the way I sort of test run. Let's see what he can deliver on it. And yeah, he did well. He did well.
Wow.
But of course, I have to correct some things like there is just a way Africans say some things. And he doesn't try that actually. Like some people are very over ambitious that they really want to get into the, he keeps it surface level. He does what he's comfortable with. He doesn't try to push the broken English. He doesn't try to push he just sings. Like it just sings. But there is also the risk of being culturally appropriated when somebody who's not African is doing this. And I understand how that could look from afar. But if you look at the level of dedication, the level of appreciation, sometimes he just comes to me and he asks me, what does Omomak by me? What does that mean? Or he comes and says, what's Wahala? Like, who told you Wahala? I didn't know that.
Wahala. Now no Wahala. Now no Wahala.
So I could tell that, okay, he's putting in work. And I sort of think about Eminem when he got into rap. I think Eminem is one of the greatest rappers that ever lived. He's not my favorite, but I think the level of love and appreciation that man has shown to hip hop as a whole, I think it's so unfair when people call him culture vulture. It just doesn't make any sense.
No,
it makes absolutely no sense.
No, it doesn't.
So I'm going to say one thing, right? So at least, what you see is like a lot of black rappers and also some black people respect Eminem as well, right? Because at the point in time, if you're sailing into a specific genre and you know Nigerian is from somewhere,
A group,
it's
yeah.
always important to appreciate that aspect of the Nigerian as well.
Yeah.
Right, which I think that's Green Pepper is doing that well. So
I think so too.
Is Afrobeat is appreciated. Okay, these are the Nigerian musicians that confirm my mentality and why I want it to be Afrobeat. Apart from my dancing as well, right? So if you are able to explore that and also say it, that people know you understand where the music is coming from and where the journey is coming from, and then you can move forward. So that's why for me I appreciate Eminem as well.
Oh, I do appreciate Eminem too.
Yeah, and why
I think he's a little bit of he's become an angry guy, like an angry, angry old man. But I think about Eminem from the 90s.
So
There is just no way you tell me Eminem is a culture vulture. It just doesn't make. Say you don't like him, okay?
Yeah.
yeah,
But don't say he's a culture vulture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when he mentioned that he gets a lot of feedback and reaction from Africans, with the exception of few. And I told him, well, it's not you the guy I had a problem with, it was me. Because the guy wrote me a message. It's like, you bloody African, you're selling your culture. Like, that's crazy.
This is crazy.
Hey, dude, I'm just a producer. I just made one song. What do you mean I'm selling my culture? The music is not even produced by Africans anymore.
You're not selling. I don't give you money.
They're working with producers from Finland, bro.
Yeah.
Burna Boy is working with a white Finnish guy.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't believe anyone needs consent to start singing Afro music. If they feel like jumping on it, let them jump on it. Put it out there. If people love it, they do love it. You know? At the end of the day, it's about music. Music helps us in different things. Like, it shouldn't be specified and to a certain group of people. So that's
But of course, the respect has to be there. You have to respect the culture, which he shows, and he proves to me. Of course, people who don't know him don't know that, but he does. He does.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think is the most important thing, right?
He was even asking me. Sorry to interrupt you, but he was asking me if it's fine for, say, somebody like him to have, like, Chinese people to name their children Yoruba names or any Igbo name, for example.
Of course, it's fine.
Africans don't have a problem with that.
Cool,
I think the other group of people you're worried about, they're not Africans.
I can give you my Nigerian name. If you want to name your kid after me, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah,
you give me the permission, right?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. As for me, the most important thing is as far as you appreciate where it's coming from. Yeah. So if you appreciate where it's coming from and you recognize that, I think that's the most important thing, right? So it's not because what some people do is they don't appreciate it where it's coming from or where it's from or the people that basically started it, and then they also at the same time disrespect the reason and your thing or your evolution of that aspect as well. So if you appreciate that, then for me it's totally fine. It's totally fine. As far as you're not being insultive, disrespectful to it, totally fine. It's music. Everyone is dancing to it and having fun, right? Which brings me or leads me to my next question, right? I think to both of you, but whoever want to start. Whoever wants to answer first is fine, right? So I want to know what has been the best response you've ever received for your music and for your producing, and the worst or most abusive response you've ever received for your music and your production as well. Yeah, so who wants to go first? The producer or the musician?
I think you should go first.
All right, Green Pepper, go first.
Can you repeat the question? Because a bit long.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, so the best response you've ever got for your music and the worst or most abusive response you've ever got for your music.
Okay. The best response.
Yeah.
Is something is touching me. It's not about my music, but it's just like I feel you. I feel your bro hugging because he told me he just lost his wife with a baby inside.
Yeah.
He just shared something with me like that. I feel like
who?
Just a follower.
Oh, you mean people who listen to your music, right?
Yeah. No, I mean people who listen. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
That's the most impressed me and touching me. The thing, even I think it's more better than your music is good. Or you're so welcome because maybe there's a set song 1,000 question. Yeah, somebody just connect with me. I think emotion like a compass. maybe north, south, east,
West.
is like happy, sad, angry, confused. But every little single angle is different. Every person feels different. And every things happen to different person also very different.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I want to do my own music.
Yeah.
But just some emotion I cannot express from normal talk, normal
conversation.
words.
Yeah.
I have to use a lot of things to build this little, very accurate angle. But I know some people just exactly resonate with me.
Yeah.
So I think that the follower also don't know me. I also don't know him.
Yeah.
He just feel my music and then say something very from deep down heart, share something to me. At that time, I feel we connect.
That's touching.
So that's most unforgettable experience and response for me. It's very, very special.
Okay, so sorry, I hate to be the bad guy. You know, you've just explained the most emotional part of it as being a musician. And I need to be the bad guy. What was the worst response you've ever gotten?
Man, I've been reading your comments sometimes.
I'm
I must feel the beans right here.
I've been seeing your comments.
I have to say I'm a kind of positive person,
Okay.
so
So you ignore the
I
negativity.
see mostly,
That's
or
the
I
spirit.
remember mostly positive encouragement.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are welcome
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
Alright.
so some of them they just think I'm a joke, something like that. I even don't remember what exactly they say because I don't like to see that. Yeah,
That's totally fine.
if you have some advice for me for my music, for my music career, you can tell me, then I will remember. But you just say, okay, I'm a Joe or something like that. Your music sucks. That I don't care.
Okay, all right, understood. Okay, so from you, Carrio, best and worst.
I mean, my just from the top of my head right now, what I can remember is actually not about music. Like I told you, I'm
the best or the worst?
the best.
Okay.
Like I mentioned earlier, I'm also an author and I write. Like my latest book that I wrote is a collection of poems.
Oh,
And I actually brought some signed copies for you guys.
exactly. Yes. Speaking of that, sorry. Can you brought some signed copies for us? Can you please give it to us, please?
Unfortunately, I don't have enough to go around, but
I mean, it's just me here. I don't know what you're gonna be. Yeah. We just it's just the both of us. Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
So if
This is probably for.
That's amazing. Yeah, so it's good.
That's amazing.
So, what is it called?
Illuminate. It's called Illuminate.
Illuminate.
It's a collection of poems. I guess some people will call it an anthology.
That's the book right here. Illuminate
So,
from the man himself.
can we get you here some other time to come, talk about the book for us as well?
Yeah, if you want to talk about it, but just to conclude what I started. So when I wrote this book, I was actually impressed by the love that I got, especially from my very close friends. So I held a book event where I did like a reading from the book, and I invited some of my friends. And I can't believe that I have friends who came from the UK, like people I knew when I was growing up, that I've known for a very long time. He came all the way from the UK just to attend the book reading. I've got friends who came from Hamburg. I got like 3 or 4 friends who came from Berlin. They came to Hannover for the book event. So that was like the most. It was a very touching moment for me that I wrote a book and I was holding a book reading. And I had like 2 or 3 friends who came from the UK just so they could come. And so that I would say was one of that I can remember now.
That's amazing. That's amazing, honestly.
Yeah, so it's not really got anything to do with the music, but
but it's still an amazing story.
Yeah. And for the worst moment, I'm actually a very self-deprecating person. I don't think I can remember. I shit on myself all the time. I do that for fun. So
you
I don't
should
know
be
what
around
anyone
my
can say
friends.
to me.
There's so much banter. So
I like that you guys are keeping the optimism here. I like the optimism.
I don't really know what anyone can say to me. I've said words to myself, like, you suck, you piece of shit.
But hey, that's really the spirit. Like, you concentrate on the most optimistic part of it and just leave out all the pessimism in it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're striving for the base. You're doing something good, putting it out there. People are loving it. You shouldn't give up because of a comment. I mean, because of someone who just wrote a comment that might have not even no idea about Afro music. So
exactly.
Sometimes it's not like it's if you are African, you're automatically entitled to know Afro music, or you're automatically entitled to be fully equipped or have full knowledge about Afro music. Some do not know, but
some do not. And that's like, I feel like it's not real when I do it. I can hear myself and I'm just thinking, yeah, dude, allow it. Allow it.
But one question before, do you think that we are looking at more people like Green Pepper that are going to jump on these Afrobeats in the near future, or do you think it will be more limited to the African descent?
I think it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. But I would love to see more Black people, though. In as much as it's like a novelty to see somebody like him, I would really love to see more Black people. I would love to see, especially African people, especially in Germany, because this is my immediate environment. And I feel like we're not competing at the highest level, actually, of anything in Germany. I don't see us. I don't see us.
Green Pepper, your last question. No, before, are you done? Sorry, I interrupted you a little bit. Oh.
Yeah, I just feel like we're not competing at the highest level, and I would like to see Africans like
doing their best, putting it out there.
Yeah.
But Green Pepper, coming to you, what do you expect from people out there? Or what are your expectations from, I don't know, maybe the African community, the Black community, or the German community, whoever is out there? What are you expecting from them, or what is your request to them?
You mean in Germany?
Germany.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, because mostly I didn't get any feedbacks from there, so not even good or bad from the local Germany community. Yeah, I really like. First, I'm really positive to get contact with the local Germany Afrobeats musicians. Really humble to get that one. I'm willing to. Yeah, I don't know why I should. I just didn't get any feedback. So I don't know what's the next. I don't know what's the next.
Are we looking at also, maybe, are you looking forward to working maybe in the near future or in the future with more African Afro music creators and so on? Is it something that you're looking at?
Yes, of course. Yeah. To more collab, more talent, songwriter to cipher to create together, to have a session.
Yeah. All right. Honestly, guys, it's been so interesting to discuss this topic with you guys. Honestly, I wish there's no time constraint. I wish there isn't any, but I've had a lovely conversation with you guys. Yeah. So, I just want to get some last few words from both of you, basically. So, from Carrio, because I also know, Carrio has spoken about, wanting to see more, Black musician, go a bit further and sing more, and do more in Germany as well, and more Afrobeat artists as well do that. And also you want to be more exposed to Afrobeat scene and the Afrobeat audience and Germans entirely to understand that part of the music as well for you. So what will be your last word in terms of, how you want to move forward as a producer, how you want Afrobeat to grow further to everyone, from your perspective, both advice to the musician, advice to upcoming artists, and to upcoming producers as well. And then Carrio can tell us from his perspective what he would like to also experience as a musician of Afrobeat in Germany as well in general. In general. So can you guys just quickly give us that round up?
Okay. Before I answer that question, I would like to say that there is a guy though. He's from Berlin here. His name is Rapturous. I don't know if you guys know him. Rapturous is a rapper's rapper, but he kind of created a side project where he works with a band and he makes actual Afrobeat. Not what they call Afrobeats, actual Afrobeat. It just takes you back to Lagos in the 70s or in the 60s. Wow. And he makes that with a band. And I respect that because that's a pivot I didn't expect to see from him. And also knowing that he's a very lyrical rapper. He can go bar for bar with anyone. And he's creating this beautiful Afrobeat music. And so even though I said we're not competing at the highest level, the quality that he's been delivering in his latest music is really incredible. But outside of that, it doesn't even matter whether it's Afrobeat or hip hop or sports or in business, in academia. I would just love to see Black people compete at the highest level. Okay. This doesn't give me the feeling like when you're in the UK, for example, there are some parts of the UK that you can survive knowing just Yoruba. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just that Africans have built and established a thriving community in those places. And I would like to see it here, whether that be sports, business, academia, literature. Because I keep asking myself sometimes, who is our Skepta, for example, in Germany? Who's our Stormzy? Who's our Sully Briggs? Who's our George the Poet? I don't see it. And I would love to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be tempted to go into too deep into the conversation because I have so much to say about that. So,
if you have any information that I'm not privy to, let me know.
No, I know. It's not just information; it's about the conversation in general, right? So, because for me, I always find it very interesting. So, if I start talking about it, we just wouldn't leave here. So thanks.
No, we can talk about it behind the scenes. If there's any information that I'm not aware of, feel free.
Of course, we can.
Share it with me.
Yeah, so honestly, I really appreciate that. And I also appreciate you bringing that into this perspective and to our audience as well, right? That's super, super nice and super, it's really awesome. I think is what people need to see as well and need to do and push forward and what they need to, foster for. Yeah, so I'll just let you, give your
just quickly
conclusion.
To say, conclusion.
Yeah, just where you tell us, what you want and
to Germany musician.
Sorry. There's two things you do afterwards. Who you would like to collab with in Germany and a freestyle. So don't forget the freestyle. You guys forgot about the freestyle already.
I didn't know.
Don't forget about the freestyle. Yeah. So give us your closing remarks, about like Afrobeat, where you want to see it go and where you want to go after, where you want to go forward to, and then who you want to collab with, and then a freestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Carol say, he helped African people in Germany.
And I don't have to say what I said, bro.
Say what you want to say.
My point.
I just according to that song. Okay, do more.
Get your food check.
Do more good. Great Afrobeat. Otherwise, I'll catch up and you guys don't have a chance.
Big words.
I am ready to get hype right now.
Okay. So that's your last word. So then who would you like to collab? So do you know any Afrobeat musician in Germany you would like to collab with? In Germany, so you in Germany and internationally,
I don't say Germany. I just say the most people I want. Fireboy. So
I
don't say I just say what I want to say. I just say the point. Just say the point.
So Fireboy. I don't
There's
know
no
if you will see
compromise.
this. Fireboy. I don't know if you're going to see this at any point in time. Our audience in Instagram and on TikTok, please.
We should
make it happen.
Tag #Fireboy and make it happen.
We should make it happen.
Just ask him. Just ask him.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, because I would love to see that as well. I would love to see that as well.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah. So, lastly, give us some freestyle.
Can I just sing?
Of course.
Can I dance?
Of course you can dance. Do you want me to increase the mark? So you can also sing your song.
Also, okay.
Yeah.
I want to stand.
Do you need an instrumental?
Yeah, he wants to stand. He wants to stand.
I just sing some lyrics. Sing a part, please. Wait a minute.
Ready?
Okay. Guys, be it.
It's gonna get hot in here.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
All right. So, guys,
Check.
Carrior is going to sing for us now.
Green pepper.
Green pepper.
Green pepper.
Sorry. Green Pepper. Yes, he's still working. Yeah. So, Green Pepper is going to sing for us now, and we want to hear him sing one of his most amazing tracks. The longer we wait, the more excited we are about it.
I think I just feel. It feels like 100 years since I have felt you right here, and I feel so alone. Tell me when you're coming home. It is so quiet, I need to hear you say my name, yeah. Then I heard you are in Lagos. Need you to do me a favor. Please, let's go down to the beach. We thought our friends be how we used to be. Then I heard you are in Tokyo. Girl, I'm feeling so low. Please put me on your wings and fly me to that place that's made of dreams. Do you remember me? Am I your everything? What you said last year, did you really mean it? Did you change a number? Are you coming for the summer? I don't wanna pressure you, but I got 1,000 questions.
Wow.
Oh, nice. Well, guys, that's gonna be the conclusion of the show tonight, because there's no better way of stopping than to stop right there. So, thanks a lot for joining us today. Please don't forget, as for our merch, follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on X, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and every other platform, Spotify and Apple Music as well. So please follow us, like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family members. And then I'll let my amazing co-host Livingstone conclude the entire evening.
It cannot get any hotter as it is right here. So guys, in case you want to know more about him, please don't forget to, like you say, share. Let us know what you think in the comment section. It has been good having you, Green Pepper. It has been great having you, Carrio, here today. Hopefully, we're looking about much more music in the future. We're looking at more collaborations in the future. And for you, Carrio, I wish you all the best, both of you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here with us.
But I also got to say that you guys, you deserve your credit. You deserve your flowers. You guys are doing amazing stuff.
Thank you so much.
It's very important that you're putting all these conversations out there.
Thanks a lot. We really appreciate that.
We appreciate that. And of course, from us, the OnlyFacts Podcast, like you say, please don't forget, share, subscribe, hit that like button, and let us know what you think. From our side, it's a good evening.
It's a good evening. Bye.